Two events I want to sum up from yesterday. First of all was the boxing. You had Canelo versus Scull. And as I predicted, you just can't put your money against Canelo. He is one of a kind, really. Did go to decision, and he took that pretty comfortably, to be fair. I pretty much had him every round. So apparently him versus Crawford is next. That's going to be super exciting. I believe they're talking about September. So that's something I will definitely be watching. That one I don't know. That one's going to be a lot harder. I'm a big Crawford fan. But we'll get into that closer to the time and if it is ever confirmed. And then just before the co-main event on that, you had the other fight that really interested me, which was Bacoli versus Ajida, I believe it's pronounced. I didn't make a prediction. I thought Bacoli would win. It was a 10-round fight. I just wanted to see how he performed after that short notice knockout to Joseph Parker. Martin Bacoli came in weighing 299 pounds and his opponent weighed 240. And that one went to decision and it was ruled a majority draw. I'd like to see that one run back. It was a good fight. Bacoli, closes the distance well, throws absolute haymakers. And the other guy was very light on his feet. Quick combos. It was a good matchup. I really like that one. Overall, not a bad card, to be honest. I think it was probably better than the Fatal Fury at Times Square. I'm intrigued to see what they do. I'd give Bacoli the rematch. I think that would be a good fight again. And hopefully Canelo gets a Crawford fight. That's, the one that all the fans want. That is the super fight. And my other one was UFC, Des Moines. It's the first time they'd ever been to Des Moines. It was a pretty good card. For a fight night card, it was stacked. You had Miesha Tate on the prelims, the return of Jeremy Stephens, Montel Jackson was on there, absolutely devastating knockout artist. You had D-Rod against, I can never say this guy's name, Ponzibio, the Argentinian guy. He was a good fighter. Then you had the co-main event, the people's main event, RDR versus Bo Nickel, and then obviously the main event, Corey Sandhagen, Davidson Figueiredo. Miesha Tate did lose, sadly. She's just a bit of a legend, but it was a close fight. It was a good fight. Fighting Santos, she's a tough cookie. She's definitely going to be one to watch. Jeremy Stephens also lost, but it was by decision. Again, quite a good fight. I think Jeremy Stephens, he's kind of like Mike Perry. He's built for BKFC. He's built for that real brutal slugfest. I think it's the right word, slugfest. When it gets a bit technical and there's all different elements, he just doesn't quite meet that standard that he needs to. It was nice to see him back in UFC, and he didn't look too out of his depth, but I think he should stick to BKFC personally. Montel Jackson got the win. That was a decision. He's good. He's good, but he was fighting a very tough Daniel Marcos. He's exciting in the bantamweight division. He could jump up there, Montel Jackson. And there's a few names I'd like to see him fight. So that was an exciting one. That was good backwards and forwards. After that, you had the D-Rod fight, and he got the knockout or TKO in round 3. Ponzinibbio seemed a bit angry at the stoppage, but he wasn't defending himself. And he had been getting beaten up quite badly all fight. So yeah, D-Rod took the win on that. I think it was deserved. I think the referee probably could have let it go, and I still think D-Rod would have taken it by decision. But you know, they have to think of the fighter's health, and Ponzinibbio was just getting rained on at that point. So yeah, I think it was a fair stoppage. You then go to the co-main, and this is one I made a prediction for. I predicted RDR round 2 submission. It was a round 2 stoppage. It was RDR, but it was a KO TKO. Very good performance. Very good performance. That's now 3-0 in the UFC. Obviously, he's a former 2-division champion for ONE FC. I think a lot of people overlook him because he's come from what people would class as a lower, less competitive organisation. I think people are overlooking RDR, but I think he's finally starting to get his props, because he's fantastic. He's obviously a Dutch Muay Thai fighter, but specialises in judo and jiu-jitsu. So this was a sort of wrestler jiu-jitsu fight, and obviously Bo Nickel is, you know, he's classed as top tier when it comes to wrestling. And RDR went straight out, threw a couple of punches and went straight in for a takedown. And it was the grappling scrambles where RDR really separated himself from Bo Nickel. As they were sort of clinching and Bo Nickel was creating any form of space, RDR would just lever him with these Muay Thai knees right to the midsection. You could see every time he did it, Bo Nickel would flinch. He would drop his hands. There was some beautiful ground exchanges. At one point, RDR gets an incredible roll on Bo Nickel, gets his back. I gave the first round to RDR, and then they come out in the second round, and it only took 2 minutes. I think it was like 1 minute 50 something on the actual finish, but 2 minutes. Again, started in a sort of clinch scramble, lands a fantastic knee. Bo Nickel tries to fire back. RDR's just throwing these hooks, and he's landing. Everyone is landing. And he backs Bo Nickel up, and as he backs him up, he hits him with a hook followed by another knee, and he just folds Bo Nickel into the cage. Doesn't even really need to land any ground. I think he hits him once on the ground. Bo Nickel sort of on his knees, curled up into the cage, and the referee stopped it there. You know, good sportsmanship after, showed each other a lot of respect. And then RDR calls out Sean Strickland, which I think would be a fantastic fight. I'm very impressed with RDR, and I pretty much got that one. I didn't expect it to be a TKO. That's the only bit I got wrong. But absolutely fantastic fight, really good. I love to see RDR versus Strickland, and I don't think Bo Nickel has lost that much credit from this fight. You know, he's what, 7-1. It's a very good record. It's not like boxing, this whole perfect record thing. It doesn't matter in UFC or mixed martial arts. It'll be interesting to see where Bo Nickel goes from here. I still think, you know, he just took out Paul Craig. He's just lost to RDR. I still think he can be up there, you know, with I think he should take a top 15 fight. Probably closer to the 15, maybe fight 13, 14 or even 15. The Ridder should now be in the top 15. I know beating Bo Nickel doesn't get you a ranking, but he should be. He joined the organisation in October. He's fought 3 times, submitting Mersha on his debut, submitting Kevin Holland, and now knocking out Bo Nickel. You've got to give this man his props. So yeah, I'm excited to see where them two are going to go next. That middleweight division is exciting. And then obviously the main event was a bantamweight banger between Corey Sandhagen and Figueiredo. My prediction was Corey Sandhagen decision. It actually finished in the second round with about 55 seconds left. Bit of a weird one, but Corey Sandhagen takes the victory. They've given it to him via KO TKO. It's all a bit weird. So he'd managed to get on top. He was dominating that position, landing some beautiful ground and pound. And the thing he kept doing is he kept tying up Figueiredo's leg. So I believe it was his left leg. He kept tying it up, sitting down on him and landing ground and pound. Figueiredo tapped. I don't think he was tapping to the strikes personally. I think he's injured himself, or he's been injured because of the positions that Sandhagen kept putting him in. Great win for Sandhagen. You know, Figueiredo had come up and was absolutely blitzing the division. You know, he was really making his statement. And I think Sandhagen's overlooked. He's an incredible all-round fighter. He's got great stand-up, great fight IQ. And he has got ground game, which a lot of people don't know because he's never really displayed it. And obviously getting submitted by Aljamain Sterling very early on. So people sort of thought, oh, he's got no ground game. But he has. He's got a fantastic all-round game. So I'm going to look out to see what the injury is. I'm assuming it's something to do with his knee or his hip. Because, yeah, Sandhagen would literally lock in his leg and then sit down on top of it as Figueiredo tried to lift his leg up to sort of keep distance between him and Sandhagen. Sandhagen would just push down and sit almost on top of his leg, which was then bent behind Sandhagen's. It was a great little tactic. It didn't allow Figueiredo to move, didn't allow him to push kick him off. And in one of those exchanges, he's obviously done some injury to himself. I'm not 100% what the injury is. So yeah, all-round great card. I did have Sandhagen winning, but I had it as unanimous decision. Did have RDR round 2. I had it as a submission and he got the KO. Absolutely fantastic card. For a fight night, absolutely fantastic. I honestly couldn't be more impressed. And then next week, is it next week? Yes, 12th and no. Yeah, I believe it's next week. We have the UFC 315, which obviously I'm going to be doing a massive prediction on because there's a lot of fights on that card. I've just brought the card up. I'm just having a quick look at it now. Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena. Valentina Shevchenko against the French phenom, which is Fiat. Can never pronounce these names. That's my problem. She's tough, and she called for this fight against Shevchenko. You've got to give her props for that. Jose Aldo versus Zabib. Great fight. Alexa Grasso against Natalia Silva. Another fantastic fight. Benoit Saint-Denis against Joe Alvarez. And then unfortunately, we do have the cancelled fight on that card, which was going to be Gilbert Burns, Michael Morales, which is sad because that would have been an absolute banger. 17-0 Michael against the ever dangerous Gilbert Burns. That, fantastic. So that's the main card. What do we have for the prelims? A couple of good fights, nothing major on there. The best one on the early prelims by the looks of it is the Jessica Andrade fight. What about the early prelims? Another cancelled fight there. There's a few good fights there. There's a few good fights on that card, and I will be doing a prediction for that. But yeah, obviously back to where we just were. There you go. They've rebooked the Gilbert Burns fight for Sunday the 18th. So that's an interesting one. That's a fight night. So yeah, they cancelled that and they've given them their own. They're now headlining a fight, the next fight night. So I'm glad that fight's still going ahead, because that was one I was looking forward to. So yeah, overall, fight night, Sandhagen, Figueiredo, Des Moines, absolutely outstanding. Canelo, you can't bet against him. And I'm really, fingers crossed, praying on this Crawford-Canelo fight. I will keep up to date with that. We've also got a massive boxing thing coming up with Usyk, Daniel Dubois. So expect my predictions. Wait on my reviews. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe, comment, do all of that good stuff. I'm trying to put out as much content as I can. Obviously, I know this looks like a fitness page, but the reason I like fitness and trying to make myself healthier and stuff is because of my love for sports. So football, boxing, UFC. I would do basketball because I love basketball, but obviously being in England, the time difference on the matches is just outrageous. But if anyone cares or is interested, I am a Boston Celtics fan, and we have been having a fantastic run at the moment. If there's ever a game on at a decent time and I can watch it, I will be watching it and giving a review. But mainly it's going to be football, UFC, boxing, and maybe some of the BKFC. I do kind of like some of the BKFC. I won't be doing all the small events. I'll just be doing like the main cards. But thanks for listening. Have a lovely bank holiday weekend, and I'll check in with you guys soon.